I'm Cash, and welcome back to Cash Talks Football, where we break down all the goals scored in the Premier League. And today we're doing the Tricky Trees and Liverpool. Interesting game, to be fair. Nottingham Forest are they're going to do fantastic. I do hope they make Champions League, and they just showed how hard they are to beat at home, just like they are hard to beat away today. But we are going to talk about a couple of key moments here and show you the fine margins where two teams that are right on top of their game are playing each other. So Nottingham Forest are very good at doing the simple things very, very well. And that's all you need. You are hard to beat. You're hard to score goals on. Sounds simple? Yeah, they're very hard to do that. But on the transition, they're very quick. Sounds very simple. But I'm going to show you a couple of little key points here. And there is, on this first goal, it was really sort of a battle in midfield of head of tennis. And it's when the ball drops, you want to look at where the Liverpool players are at the moment that they don't have possession, right? So let's just watch this as we go through. The first little flick up here, boom, knocks it forward. There's the flick, right? Got to take this visual shot right now. Think about these two centre-backs marking Woodinho here, right? This is important because his run sets up the goal. His run destroys Liverpool's defensive shape. And I want you to also watch Konate here, all right? Watch where he ends up and why Van Dijk ends up on his own and isolated, all right? This guy over here, nothing to do with it. But let's just move this forward ever so slightly. So what's just happened that I haven't really showed you is Chris Woodinho's come from this position. He's headed the ball here. It's kind of bounced back. Now it's bouncing back this way, right? Look where he is now. He was just here a second ago with both these guys marking, doing their job properly. Sorry, actually they kind of switched. Gravenberch has gone back. Konate stepped forward and headed it. But this is also key. This is important. So when this ball now goes forward here, right? This is a 50-50 challenge. Mo Salah has to go in and win this, right? He has to try to win this tackle. He doesn't. He doesn't really put that much effort in. But look, we've got one. There's Konate, who was here, who's come completely out of position. Two, all right? Well, everyone's just kind of a little bit out of shape. Does that make sense? And you've got another one here. So you don't really have your three in midfield because you've got someone else back here, and everyone's jobs have just been pulled away. But watch what Woods does right here. Watch this run. This is the money maker. He anticipates what's going on. Watch. As soon as this ball goes bump there, he's gone. Look at that. The minute he's got possession, there's just one little touch on it. Have a look. Konate doesn't know what to do because he's not a midfielder. So he's way, way out of position. He's not moving because he sees Konate's in front of him. So there's no pressure on the ball now. Well, what's Van Dijk going to do? As soon as he sees that run, he's going to drop with it. Because he knows if he doesn't, he's going to be put on the end of it and he's in trouble. Again, another midfielder over here, completely and utterly really in no man's land, because what you've seen is this pocket of space has appeared behind this this line here. Remember, it's not a flat line like it's supposed to be. It's kind of at a weird angle that opens up the space behind it, right? Can you see that? When this ball played here, boom, it's going straight between them. The run has pulled everybody over, but look how static all of these players are. Now, you've seen Konate, and I think it's Gravenberch have switched places where Konate was here and Gravenberch was behind him, but nobody is still going to the ball. And if you see my little warm-up thing that I've done on the little coaching, I'm going to start explaining this more and more about why players don't pressure the ball and what happens in coaching. And it's going to be in my part 2 of my little warm-up stuff. And it's just sort of teaching the behind the scenes of coaches of how you actually coach. And when I explain this in part 2, you're going to see it and you're never, ever going to forget it. Why players don't close the ball down properly anymore, right? And you're going to go, oh, okay, now I understand. And it's an epidemic through the Premier League and through everything. It's been happening. I could see it coming 15 years ago. I tried explaining it and they still won't listen. So now when that pass comes through, boom, look at how much space he's got and look how much Van Dijk has dropped. Well, Tsimikas can't really come. Is it Tsimikas or Robinson? I don't know who's playing left back for Liverpool. Shoot me. I don't know. He can't really go into that pocket of space, but look how many people were forward pressuring but not pressuring the ball that they've cut out and they've exploited. And you can see right now, this is the interesting part. Watch his body shape here. Watch how Van Dijk gets this completely wrong. He is facing this way, right? But he also knows, because he's a decent defender, he has to put pressure on the ball because there's no one between him and the ball. It's his responsibility. He understands that. So what he has to do now is change his body shape. Do you see? Oh, look, as he's changed his body shape, so he can actually try to, but the guy's too far away for you to be changing your body shape. And now he's behind you. So what you're doing, instead of being able to move anywhere, your movement is to go away from your player. So now your next movement is to go to turn towards the player instead of going towards the player. Does that make sense? So let me just draw it for you. So what you're doing is your first movement, instead of taking a step to cut this pass out, was to go this way, away from the player. So that opened up the space for him. Completely and utterly on Van Dijk, this is. All he had to do was stay the same way he was facing, and his next step, instead of going away from Woodinho, would have been going towards him when the pass is made. And he can't get anywhere near him now, because after that pass is made, ball's coming across, and now it's just, can he finish? And he can. Gets himself a goal. Let's get on to the next part. There's a couple other little points I want to show you as we move forward. But yeah, I do want to show you from this other angle, though, of how Konate's gone. You can see the pocket of space. These two players now in each other's way. And that space is the one that's exploited. Yeah, and you can see, look, Van Dijk can see it and read it as he goes. Because look at the pace. He's fully committed, running. So he's got to drop. Because if that ball goes, he's going to be beaten. So quality running there from Chris Wood. Is it Chris Woods? I can't remember. Well, I call him Woodinho anyway, because he's definitely got some Brazilian flair. So anyway, you can see that quite easily. Look, these two players in each other's way. Liverpool got a couple of problems. We are going to do the Liverpool goal, and I don't know of another time when two players I've seen been substituted. One's come on and given the assist, and one's come on and scored a goal, both with their first touch. That's pretty interesting. And Jota's one of those players that just seems to be smaller than everyone else, but he has this unique timing to get on the end of the ball. And as a striker, I mean, you can't teach that. He just knows where to be, and he just knows how to be on the end of a ball. He's just absolutely fantastic, in my opinion. As this cross comes in, he's just getting on the end of it, knocking it into the corner. But I do want to show you some quality things from Nottingham Forest here, and some quality defending, because defending is keeping them where they are. And also, there's a little bit more than just the defending. You can feel it. If you ever watch one of Nottingham Forest's games, there's a spirit about the team. They actually work and care for each other. There's no real individuals on this team. Even though they have a lot of individual talent, they do work collectively for a team and for the cause. And I want to show you that right now. And this is one of those key important parts, is when you're defending a corner and the team, I've said this before in another Nottingham Forest video, that they stay and defend until the job is done. When the keeper punches it out and the second ball's coming in or whatever it is, they just make sure. And that is so important. And what am I talking about? Being on the line and covering the post, which I talk about so often. And this is the difference of losing, winning a point or losing, a point. And this is it right here. He's staying in when it comes across to Bosch, defending it on the line. Quality. Didn't run off the field, didn't try to do anything, stayed in and did his job. So important in football. And there isn't many teams in the Premier League I can say that do that. Other than that, I'll say, shall I show you one more thing? Yeah, I'm going to show you one more thing of Nottingham Forest if I can find it. It's not the best example, but you can see what I'm talking about if I show you. Look at how compact and tight their shape is. Look at where the ball is. I know this guy ends up taking a shot but misses. But also, look at the players around and look at how keen and interested they are of watching and being ready for what is going on. Everybody is clued up and ready to go. They're so difficult to break down through because there's so many players. Two people marking the one in the middle. No one's getting lost and caught out here wide. No one's getting suckered in back here. They're absolutely perfect, tight, in shape, doing their job properly. And that's why they're so hard to break down defensively. There was a better opportunity version of that I saw in the game. I just can't find it in the highlights. Other than that, I'll see you next time on Cash Talks Football.